Let's get ready to rumble!
Today we'll be going over 5 types of figures of speech: simile, personification, metaphor, hyperbole, and alliteration. We will be analyzing these types of figures of speech by looking at song lyrics from both your era and mine. We will begin with simile, which is a figure of speech comparing two things using like or as. Our first example of this will be Katy Perry, Dark Horse.
Baby, do you dare to do this? 'Cause I'm coming at you like a dark horse. Are you ready for it?
Next example of simile is Earned It by The Weeknd.
You make it look like it's magic. Oh yeah. 'Cause I see nobody but you.
And our last example will be Beat This Summer by Brad Paisley.
The sun keeps setting, the days go fast, and the sand on the beach is like an hourglass.
Next we have metaphor, which is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to something to which it is not literally applicable. And our example of this will be Human Nature by Michael Jackson.
This town is just an apple. Then let me take a bite.
The next example of metaphor is My Heart's a Stereo by Gym Class Heroes.
Heart's a stereo, it beats for you, so listen close.
And the final example of metaphor will be Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin.
Lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven.
The next figure of speech is personification, and this is when you assign the qualities of a person to something that isn't human. And our first example of this will be History in the Making by Darius Rucker.
I just want to take this in. The moonlight dancing off your skin.
The next example of personification is in Michael Jackson's song, Thriller!
But dare I take the sound before you make it? And you start to freeze, and so it looks you right between the eyes.
And last we have I'll Be There For You by John Bon Jovi.
I guess this time you're really leaving. I heard your suitcase say goodbye.
The next figure of speech is hyperbole, which means an extreme exaggeration. And again, you will hear John Bon Jovi, I'll Be There For You.
You say you cried 1,000 rivers, but now you're swimming for the shore.
Up next is Bruno Mars, Grenade.
And inside catch a grenade for ya. Throw my hand on a blade for ya.
And lastly, we have This Girl Is on Fire by Alicia Keys.
This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire.
The last figure of speech is alliteration, which is the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words, and you will hear Blake Shelton's Lay Low.
Take my time, taking it slow. Stay home, stay high, and lay low.
And last we have Somebody Like You by Keith Urban.
And it sure feels good to finally feel the way I do.
At this time, I would like you to please pause the video and read the paragraph. Find all the types of figures of speech you can and justify your answers. So who's up for a challenge? I want you to do exactly what I did. Listen to music and come to class with examples of songs that contain the 5 types of figures of speech that we covered in this lecture. I'm looking forward to your selections. See you tomorrow.